Welcome back to the Back to the Cave podcast. You got Cody.
And you got Ethan.
Remember, before we get into the episode, go check out partners, affiliates links in the description of the YouTube and podcast link if you want to help the podcast out. But
yes,
this episode, the season, I hear everyone saying, "Oh, season's over. You know, time to prepare for next year." It's like you still got late season right now.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful I don't have to go out anymore in late season.
Exactly.
This episode, Ethan will be interviewing me.
Ooh. Here we go.
About the buck that I shot the last week of rifle. Yes. My wife was like, "Why are you doing a podcast? You just put out a YouTube video." Not everything is in that YouTube video. There's some things where like you can't record it just because people are like steal spots and all that kind of stuff. Like I don't want to give too much away about the piece I was hunting or area I was at, to be honest with you. There is like I like the positive criticism too.
Yeah.
I like that. Work horse trees.
There you go.
Messaged me and said, I wish you would have put like an overlay of like your topo map or something like that to see where these buck were traveling at. Mm-hmm. And like I want to do that, but it's just so hard because like everyone has topo maps. It's like it's hard to put that in there. But I would like to do that next year. Like that's my goal for next year is like to put kind of like a overlay, like really crop it in to show like where they're at, not give away major features or anything like that.
Yeah, you got to be like real careful. Like I was thinking about this, like, man, I don't want to, like, I don't share anything, nothing. It's like, because there's always that debate between gatekeeping or not gatekeeping. Like you're supposed to help, but then it's like, if you help too much or you help the wrong person, one person could ruin everything.
Yes.
100%.
Absolutely.
And that's why we don't. It's like, there's enough public land out there. Mm-hmm. Go find your own spots.
Well, that's like people on like, I don't know if they're bots or like real people or not. Like when they post like, I'm hunting, I'm new in the area. Can you give me some good advice on public land to hunt? It's like, man, like I don't want to be a dick, but also it's like, there's tons. Yeah. Like, just go, you got to put in the work. You got to actually enjoy it. Like, if someone just gives you, like, I was thinking about that. Like, people, like, some people would, reach out and be like, hey, you want to go hunting? Like, have some buck in the area. It's like, it sounds great, but then it's also like, man, that you don't feel any, like you put in the work for that deer or, it feels like something's given to you. Like the North Carolina bucks I got last year. It was great. The initial adrenaline rush, the dopamine hit, whatever, it was cool. But then at the end of the day, it was like you just were given that buck pretty much. Yeah. So like I don't know. I like that work process you had to put into it.
It is fun.
It is.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, but at the same time, it's like, man, like I walked miles for this.
Yeah.
I found these spots. Mm-hmm. My decisions that I made leading up to that were correct. I increased. I mean, we always talk about how lucky you have to be when hunting. It's like I did all these things to increase my luck, and it worked out.
Yep,
like that. That's a good feeling.
Oh, 100%, dude. Because I felt that at the beginning of the year. Like it was like I had that buck that I hit, couldn't recover. Don't know if he's dead or alive. Mm-hmm. Still don't know to this day. My gut's telling me he's dead somewhere, but I had no idea where to find him. Couldn't get a hold of a dog to go track him down. So, I mean, it was like, it is what it is at that moment in time, but I'm hoping he's still alive somewhere. Like, it's just, there's other buck in the area that look like him, which kind of is deceiving when you get trail cam picture and it's like, oh, is that him? And then you like zoom in and you're like,
well, there's no hole.
That's the side I would have shot. There would be a hole there.
Yeah.
Like, you try and crop in the image as much as possible just to see, you slow down the video.
Oh, dude, I'd be looking at every deer. Is like, is this him?
Yeah.
Is this him?
Yeah. But it's, that was kind of like the hard work I put in, and I felt like all that hard work was for naught, right? Like when you shoot a buck, everything, you wait till the right moment. You have everything just like come to fruition, really. And he gives you a shot. You take the shot. It's like you can't recover him. It's like, fuck, all that work.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Yeah. All right. Well, you just covered 4 of my questions, so we're done. No. Well, let's talk about the one you did get.
Okay. Yep.
Let's talk about walk me through the day,
Okay.
sir.
You want to start from like the moment I woke up?
Absolutely. What
Okay.
did you have for breakfast?
God.
What time
Okay.
did you get there? How far did you walk? I mean, I want details.
Okay.
Well, when was this again?
This was December 11th, Wednesday.
So the last week of regular rifle season.
Yep. Midweek. The reason I decided to pick that day is because that was the day my wife said I could go out all day.
If wife gives you permission, you go.
Right. So like my daughter was going to be at daycare. I always feel bad when like I go out all day, my wife is home alone with my daughter, even though I know she's very capable of doing that, and I do it. Like it's just something like I feel bad inside. It's like, man, I'm leaving my wife from like literally from dark to dark.
Yeah.
To take care of our child, you know. So I always feel bad doing that. So she had off 2 days. She had off Wednesday and Thursday. Of course, Thursday was the nicer of the 2 days.
Of course.
But I was like, you know what? Wednesday's going to be, looks like it's going to be rain. In my mind, I was like, that could change. Weather might not be real. Like, the weatherman is always wrong.
Yep.
Or woman, whichever. But, like, so I was like, I kept looking at the weather. I'm like, okay, there could be spots where it doesn't rain, you know? And then, you know, that night, when I wake up early, my wife does not want me sleeping in the room with her. So I go downstairs, I sleep. But the night before, we had a podcast with Alex from Buck Down.
Yep.
So we were up a little bit later. I was up a little bit later. Couldn't go to sleep at my 8 o'clock when I usually wake up early.
Yep.
So, you know, out here, I had a few. I didn't have any beer. I had an Arnold Palmer, just an iced tea, regular iced tea. So I wasn't drinking, nothing like that. I was like, you know what? Can keep it cool tonight. Not going to drink. You know, just gonna
you being responsible.
Right. So, you know, we did the podcast with Alex. Ended that. He wished me luck. He said good luck tomorrow and all that kind of stuff. So I think his podcast was the reason I was lucky.
There you go. Increase your luck.
Shout out, Buck Down. Go check him out on Instagram, and you can find him on Spotify, Apple, all that kind of stuff. But so go to sleep. I can't fall asleep for some reason. Like I feel like it felt like I drank coffee.
Yeah.
Like it felt like my heart was pounding really fast. Like I couldn't fall asleep. So I fell asleep eventually. Didn't sleep very well at all. This is probably really drawn out. This is not what people really want to hear about the whole process of going up to it.
No,
but
you took me literal.
It's it's the fact of like the thought process, because like I woke up, I had my alarm set for 4:30, I believe, because I didn't get light out till like 6, and like with the rain and fog, it wasn't getting light out till like almost like 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to sleep. I woke up, felt terrible, felt like I had a headache, felt like I came upstairs, I got a bowl of cereal, Frosted Mini Wheats, there you go, that's what I ate.
Okay.
Had a warmed up pot of coffee, not even a fresh pot of coffee.
Oh.
And I was like, I was sitting there in the kitchen, like, I should just go back to sleep. I shouldn't even, I should not, I should just wait till it gets light out and then maybe go out. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, just go back to work and just maybe go out Thursday or Friday, you know, for a little bit. So I was like, no, I'm up. I'm going. And the truck was loaded up. Everything was loaded up in the truck. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going. Made myself a peanut butter and banana sandwich, actually, with some odd end snacks. Put it in my backpack. Got in the truck. Drove. I had to drive like 45 minutes to an hour away to get to the big mountains. The closest piece that's, you know, big mountains to us.
Right.
Got there. Only truck in the parking lot. I was like,
I wonder why.
And then by that time it was like drizzling. So I got there a
it's
little
not
after
bad.
6. So I was like, okay, this isn't bad. Like it's drizzling a little bit, but it's not light out. I was going to take the retrograde stand with me and hang it for Saturday, because I was like, it's raining. I don't foresee myself getting on any deer today. Like they're going to be bedded down and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to go find a spot for hang my stand for Saturday to deal with the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided not to take my stand in. I was like, I left the truck. I actually fell asleep in the truck till 7. I was like, I'm just going to sleep till 7, because it's not even close to being laid out yet. And then by that time, like, it starts downpouring. I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. Like, in my head, I was like, just go home.
Yeah.
Just go home. Like, it's downpouring. There's there's no use in this. I didn't know if my jacket was going to even be good enough to be in rain. Like, I never wore it in the rain before. Like, I never really wore it before. And my pants, I was like, I think they'll hold up. Like, I'm not sure. So I was like, no, I'm here. Like, I'm going to go out. My wife has off. Raylan's going to be at daycare. I'm going out.
Yep.
So I was already there, got everything unloaded, got my gun loaded. It was light out by that time. Like, it was getting light out, but it was foggy, right? So, like, it was, like, still hard to see. So I raised away and I started walking in. My pants are getting soaked. 5 minutes into walking in the woods.
Didn't hold up.
I'm like, man, this is, and I'm like kind of in cover too, like walking. So like you think the rain would like not be as heavy right there, but I knew the trail I was getting on was pretty much in the open, so I was really gonna get soaked then.
Oh yeah.
So being that I was the only truck there, I was like, well, I can just walk through here. There's not gonna be any hikers or bicycle riders. Like, there's no way that anything that's gonna happen. So I'm walking, and then I have this in the video where I'm like, this is a lot worse than what I thought. Like, this is bad. I am soaked already. But by the time I even have a inkling of like I should turn around, like I'm already in the woods. Like, I'm just gonna suffer through it. Like, it's not. It's not freezing. It's not freezing rain. It's humid. It's like everything. The only thing that was really in my favor this day was legit the wind. The wind was the only thing the wind and the rain helped me out in the situation, because the wind was blowing downhill towards me when I walked started climbing the mountain, but humid as hell. Like, it was like, for wintertime, it was a humid day.
Yeah.
And so I get, like, the funny part is, like, the Saturday before I went out, I jumped some deer in a location. I was like, and then they ran past my trail camera and got them on video. It was like $4.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, and that was like a bench up from where I shot him at. And I was like, so I got on X and I was looking at these big benches. There's 2 benches above each other. So the one bench, I was like, I got to get right here. Because I marked where I jumped him at. And I was like, I was guesstimating, like, I got to get here to try and cut them off if they do walk that same direction.
Right.
So I had that marked as a point of interest. And I start walking in, and automatically I'm on this deer trail. Like, I'm like almost 3 miles in the woods by this point. I didn't even really touch going in the woods yet. Like, I'm in the woods, but I'm not, like, there's a trail. So, like, to me, I'm not actually in the woods yet.
Yeah.
So 3 miles in, I cut in the woods. I get on a heavy trail. I'm like, okay, this is good trail. And then all of a sudden I just follow the trail, really. And then it takes me to all this sign, like scrapes, rubs, like thick cover. And then, like, it gets really rocky. And I'm like, this is like, you lose a trail. So I get through them, and I find more leaves going through there that are turned up. And I find rubs. I find these big scrapes, like really high licking branches. That's in there. But, like, it's still raining pretty good. And, like, at one point, I'm, like, cresting this knob. I'm cresting little knobs here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm like, okay, like, I got to take my time getting to these knobs. So, like, I stop, and I take my time walking them over, even though it's completely quiet. The wind's in my favor. I'm walking, and I'm cresting the knobs, finding good sign. I keep following it. And, like, I kept going to the left when really there was, like, my initial thought was, like, go to the right. Like, when I was in this pine thicket, I was like, maybe I should go that way. But, like, something was drawing me to the left. Like, it's so weird. Like, it was just drawing me to this left.
Yeah.
Because I think because of my waypoint that I put. Like, my waypoint was to the left, but, like, from the naked eye when you're looking, it's like, if I go to the right, it kind of looks like a better spot.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, my waypoint with that bench, it was like, I got to kind of get here. And then I got to, there was one tree with 3 scrapes underneath it. They weren't really hit too well. But at those scrapes, I got a very faint whiff of a buck. And I knew the wind was coming right down. I was like, that's a buck.
Yeah.
Like, almost, like, the rut is pretty much over, especially in this area. There's a second rut that comes in late season, but, like, the rut was pretty much over in this area.
Yeah, there's not really any activity.
Right, it's not as intense.
Right.
As intense. And if it is, it's going to be around doe bedding, all that kind of stuff. So, so I get that, and I kind of get that in the video, too, me saying that. But then I keep I can see a trail, like a faint trail going up, and then I find feeding sign, more rubs, and like it's kind of funny, like where I stopped when I saw that trail going up the hill. I was looking to my left because there was like a little point that comes out. You're not going to see it on a map. So this point, I was looking at it, it was like there was rubs going left and right here, but there was no real good trail.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, they obviously go up and down this hill right here, and they might bet on this like faint point right here that you can't see on Onyx at all. Like I was looking at it, I was like, there's no way you're going to see this.
Yeah.
So I was going up as soon as I saw those rubs and I saw that feeding sign. I turned the GoPro off first, like because I have it pointing down. Because this is the thing that sucks about filming is like you're trying to catch everything to make a story. So like I was filming myself walk as I was doing this, so I had the GoPro facing down at my feet. So like it was like this. So it was facing down like this right here on my shoulder.
Yeah.
A little up like that, facing down as watch my feet go. Because, building a story, watching me walk, all that kind of stuff. As I must have forgot to bring it up when I did that. And I start to crest this hill, and I was like, before I crest the hill, it was pretty an open hill. And I was like, I thought back, I forget where, I just thought of the hunting public right away.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was always like, when you crest a knob, make sure you're not skylined. And I was like, there's just one bush of laurel in front of me. And I'm like, I'm going to walk up to this laurel and try and look out to this, look out. So as I'm walking, I'm still looking down, following this trail a little bit, because it's a really good trail. And it has like broken sticks, broken bark, all this kind of stuff going up. So I still have the GoPro facing down. It's turned off at this moment because I got what I wanted. I got a couple steps in here and there.
Got a few steps.
After seeing the sign, yeah. So I get up to the laurel, and for some reason, I'm looking, it's hard to explain, but I'm looking down, and I look up very slowly, and all I see is the ass of a deer with a tail, and it flicks. And then I look to the, I'm looking at its ass, and then I scan to the right, and all I see is the buck turn his head and look at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
click
the GoPro, turn on, not realizing it's still pointing down.
Right.
So then I bring it up, and of course it's rainy, foggy, humid.
Mm-hmm.
My scope is fogged up. So when I pulled up the first time when he's standing perfectly sideways, I can't see him. I can't find him. So I have to bring back down and take it off.
Clean it off.
And I'm still hunched down. I'm still hunched down behind this laurel, holding like this, because I was holding my gun the whole time like that. And sorry, I have a little bit of cold right now.
It's all good. It's all good. Keep drinking. You drink.
So I get behind the laurel, and then by the time I clean that off, I look down for a second to make sure I'm cleaning it off. Right. So then I look up again, and he's standing there, completely stood straight up, looking at me.
Yeah.
Straight on. And I'm like, oh my God, do I wait till he turns again or just put it on him and take a shot?
Yeah.
So I shoot through the laurel, because I was like, you know what? 270, it'll go through this little bush to get on him. Yeah. So I can see him as I'm looking through the laurel, put it right on him, and I squeeze it, and it was like click, poof, and then I see another deer run off, and I thought he was, at the time, I thought he was the only deer there.
Yeah.
I didn't really see another deer. Mm-hmm. So that's when I in the video, that's when I run, because I'm like, oh my God, I missed him. So I got to get up there and take another shot. So I get up there, and then I look, and he's down. I'm like, oh my gosh.
He's right here.
Yeah. But then I see 3 other deer run off. So then, that happens. He's moving around a little bit. So I put a second shot on him to finish him off, because I don't want him to suffer anymore.
Right.
But the hunt was I would say it was maybe, because I left the truck at 7, got to the spot that I cut in maybe 7:40ish, 7:30, 7:40, and I shot him. In the video, I'm dead wrong. I didn't shoot him at 8:30.
No.
I shot him at 6 after 8. So like I was in the woods
Oh, jeez.
for like 20 minutes before I shot him.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was yeah,
You in early mornings, man. You got, I mean, most of them count. A lot of the first the archery buck, and that was all early morning, before 8:30.
Yeah, like I don't know. I always had. I'm trying to think right now. I don't think there's ever been a deer that I've shot in the evening. Anywhere that I've been, because like even my first buck, it was in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, like first light. The 7:31 that was on top of the mountain behind my cabin, that one was right away. The 8-point that was 9 o'clock with the crossbow.
Yeah, that was the morning.
The one up at your cabin, that was 8 o'clock, 8:30 that happened.
Yep.
And then this one here was literally 8 o'clock. And like, I don't know. I mean, I don't find spots just for morning. Like I find spots that could be good all day, but like this spot here that I went in, I never touched foot in that. So like,
right.
I like Ed from Our Grounds Coffee texted me. He was like, did you scout this area? Did you like figure out this area pretty good? I was like, I sent him a screenshot of like my waypoints. I was like, no, this is literally the first time I stepped in this area. And like,
yeah,
I don't know, you might have a question about this, but I might answer it already.
Okay.
So the thing that helped me figure this out, like it was, I would say 50% luck, 50% woodsmanship for this. Because like one, I had to track the deer down, like follow tracks to get to where this deer actually was. So I think that's the woodsmanship part. But then also the luck part. Well, no, I would say more than 50% woodsmanship. I would say it's like 75% woodsmanship. Because that Saturday before, I jumped those deer, and I thought back to that. I was like, okay, they might be on this side hill feeding in the rocky part.
Right.
So, you know, and I was also thinking about pressure of where like people are driving, people are walking, all that kind of stuff. Because, I mean, I know where they drive at, and it's not where I shot this buck. Put it that way. So I took that in consideration with where I jumped them at and where they were feeding at, where their bed was at. Because like I jumped one on Saturday where I don't know if it was a buck or doe, but I jumped it where it was bedded at. Okay. So it was like, okay, this is a good bedding area. I found beds, found fresh tracks, you know, shit everywhere. So I was like, okay, this is a good sign. Now my initial thought was, okay, I got to set up between two benches with a rifle to be able to shoot both benches.
Yeah.
That was where my waypoint was. And I'll put that in the video. I'll break it. I'll zoom in really good so
yeah,
you don't know where exactly I'm at. But yeah, I think it was a accumulation of Saturday and just pure dedication to go out and downpour that led me to getting this buck. Because there was one other truck out, which I'd love to know who he was. Who was out?
Who else is crazy like I am to be out here?
Because I don't know. Honestly, I don't think anyone else was probably out unless they were in a blind.
Yeah, a blind would have been.
Day. Right.
I mean, kind of. Well, because obviously you didn't see him until, you know, the deer already saw you first. But like, do you think with as much rain, do you think you moved them from bedded down, or was this a feeding area?
No, they were feeding.
They were feeding.
Because when I shot him, it hit him in the neck. And I felt everything that he was eating. Yeah. So he was eating what he was in. Okay. Like they were, when I first saw him, his head was down. So he was feeding. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what he saw or heard because I didn't step on a single twig. That's one thing that I think is huge. Like, you can walk in leaves, it can be as crunchy as possible, as quiet as possible. The one thing you don't want to do is break a twig.
Yep.
Because, like, if you think about it, and I forget where I heard this from, but, like, predators are the only things that really can break twigs. Like, deer will break twigs once in a while, but for the most part, they don't.
Yeah, you never see, unless they're breaking them with their antlers.
Because also and the reason is because their weight is distributed differently than ours. Ours, you got to figure, is straight up and down. So all our weight is on our feet. They have 4, so it's spread out between 4 different hooves. So they don't have as much weight coming down on that one stick if they step on it. So squirrels won't be breaking twigs.
Nope.
Birds won't be breaking twigs. Raccoons won't be. Coyotes might not even be breaking twigs too much. But
Yeah.
like something bigger will. So like a bear or something else like that, or a big coyote that would take down a deer would be breaking twigs. So like if a deer hears a twig break, they're going to 100% be on high alert. And they're going to be looking that way for like ever.
Anything. Yeah.
So I didn't step on a single twig, and I just think because I was so close and how humid it was, I think my scent was kind of, and with the wetness too, I think it was just kind of like making this like slow, like widen out type thing.
Like it was seeping out almost.
Like a kind of like a spongy type thing where like you wring out a sponge, just like spreads across everything. But I think that's what it was because I feel like I got in that bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Like my nose keeps running. I'm sorry for all the viewers.
Where's the drugs? You need the good ones.
I took Dayquil.
Okay, you're fine then.
Oh, paper towel.
Get a tissue. There you go. Or paper towel. That's why you always keep paper towels or toilet paper on hand at all times, no matter where you are.
Yeah. So I definitely think that I was like in his. I 100% think I was in his bubble.
Yeah.
Of him smelling me, even though the wind was in my favor, and it was still morning time, so the thermals was falling. But I think thermals would have been falling all day, with how it was. But yeah, I think I just got in his bubble, and that's why he saw me. But yeah, I think they were definitely feeding. They weren't better there.
Yeah.
Because there was no real cover in this area. So like there was laurel to the right, but like they were coming from that with their body, how their body was positioned. They were coming from that.
So they probably just got out of bedding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And were like, oh, let's go feed. It's raining. They can cover.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. I mean, yeah, you can't really hear anything walking, but then they can't. They know that they're not going to be making noise. So if they do hear something, they're like, well, this ain't us.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And at that point, they were. I mean, obviously, you had to go through archery season, which I don't think there was too many people out. Or maybe
There was, and I knew where they were hunting, so that's like kind of where I played all the pressure into where I wanted to go.
Yeah. Plus, like a week and a half of rifle of pressure.
Yeah.
At that
Heavy
point,
pressure.
so like, they got to eat at some point, and they figured, it's raining. This might be the safest day, just off of the environment.
Yep.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Yeah, because I mean, it's. And another thing is, like, I was contemplating the whole time, should I take my bike? Should I not take my bike? Should I go back to where I shot that buck at? Should I do all that kind of stuff? Like, I was like, and I feel like if I would have taken my bike, I would have 100% rode right past those deer.
Yeah.
I would have went right back to where I've been going all year and went right in there. So, like, man,
There was a creature of habit right there.
There, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I know, it absolutely sucked hunting that rain. But in reality, like, it was freaking awesome. Like, to have that kind of encounter with, I would say he was maybe I would say in the low end 3.5, maybe to 5.5.
I was guessing because I was like, because I know you sent sent teeth in to deer age to get him, to see how old he is. And I was like, I'm looking at his body.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the rag. I'm looking at the location of where you're at, too. And I was like, this is a heavily pressured public land.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine there's too many old deer. There's probably a couple out there. I mean, there's always old deer somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, I can't imagine there's a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's 3.5.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's 3.5 years old.
Yeah, I mean, body size, like, I was very, well, I wouldn't say shocked because I knew the rut just ended and they had to feed to get body weight back on, but there was no fat on this dude at all. And, like, when I was dragging him out, he felt heavy just because of how long I had to drag him out. But the initial drag out, like, when I grabbed his rack and started pulling him, he didn't feel heavy. I was like, this is weird.
I saw that in the video when you were dragging him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I was like, oh, it must be nice. And I was thinking back to my PA buck. I was like, do that to mine.
Yeah.
Do that. I couldn't even do that with two people.
Well, like, also the thing was, like, where I was dragging him, I was dragging downhill, too.
Yeah.
I think, the weather played a big role in that. So, like, dragging him on wet leaves compared to dry leaves and uphill.
Yeah.
Like, uphill would have been different, like,
It
but
sucks regardless.
no matter how big the deer is,
No.
it sucks. But, like, man, it was just a cool experience to do that. Like, even though everything in the hunting industry and, like, the hunting, like, the experts say like, don't hunt in pouring rain. Dude, you don't know how. Like, there might be like, especially during rifle, I'm gonna hunt in pouring rain.
Why not?
Like, as long as it's not like
thunderstorms.
I need to. Yeah.
Yeah. Then no.
I need to get better pants. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Rain pants, but like, dude, like, if I can stay dry,
Mm-hmm.
good boots with good pants, I'm hunting the rain in the rifle season because like,
well, I mean, think about it. My buck, it rained. I mean, it wasn't near as downpour as you.
Yeah.
But it rained for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That morning, and then when it stopped, that's when all the activity started going. I was like, "Here's the rain."
Well, that's the funny part because like, right as I got in the woods, it was pouring, right? So like when I'm walking this trail, it's pouring. When I literally get to about cresting the knob that he's on, it's like drizzling. So it's kind of nice. It's like nice drizzle.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I shoot him and walk up to him, dumps rain.
Yep.
So like that period of like any kind of weather change, I feel like is big. Like if you have those spurts of like drizzle to downpour, that drizzle is going to get them moving because they know they don't want to be in the downpour.
No.
Because it was when I talk downpour, it was downpour. Like it was like big raindrops hitting me. I was like, and I'm trying to record a video with my GoPro on like the
I could see your hand smacking the thing every once in a while to clean it off from the rain and the water getting into the audio a little bit. And I was like, oh man, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, it doesn't. But like, I thought like I was like, there's no way I can make a video out of this. But like, I don't know.
It worked out pretty.
Yeah,
I watched it.
I think it turned out like for this being my first year really filming all year. Like there was one day I didn't film, one day out of every single day, and that was the day after I shot the buck. I was like, I just don't feel like I don't have the mental capacity. I did take the GoPro with me. Yeah, I just didn't have the capacity to go out and film.
Right.
So that was literally the only day I didn't take anything in the woods with me. I didn't take the camera, the GoPro, anything. There was only one day I didn't do that. I think that's like a big part of it is like having the mental and mental fortitude to actually like, okay, I'm going to film today. Like you have to, once you, like, I feel like this year was a big stepping stone for me personally with just filming. If I didn't get anything down, at least I had the drive to take this stuff in the woods with me every single day.
Right. I think the first year you do it has to be the hardest.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Has to be because it's like, well, I could just stop it now.
Yeah.
And be done and never have to do it again. But you're like, dude, I just spent this whole season filming. Whether you kill something or not, you can go into next year. Okay, I did it last year. Yep. I can do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest thing is like just like finding the right system, finding how to pack the camera arm, the camera, the second angle, making sure you have everything packed up, ready to go in. Like it's just that's the hardest part is to make sure you remember everything. Yeah, to make sure everything's charged too. Is like go in the woods. Like I remember the one time I went in. I think it was October 19th. I didn't see anything, so I didn't obviously put it out of any video. Yeah, but I have all the footage saved. But like, I had this on me. I had it on my backpack. I kept pressing the record button. Yeah, I got to the tree that I wanted to get in. The battery was not in it. Oh, so like, it fell out in my truck. Oh no! So like this battery just like came out and it was just sitting on my seat like that. Oh. So I had this. This was open like halfway through. Yeah. When it was on my shoulder, I was like, what's going on there?
Didn't seem a little lighter?
No, I mean, you can feel, like, it doesn't, you can't really even feel it.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even know.
Yeah. So, like, that was the one mistake I had, but, like, for the most part, it was a pretty, I mean, hanging up the camera arm, that's sometimes, like, difficult. Finding a tree, like, to find the perfect tree to set up the camera arm, especially when you're saddle hunting. To find the right tree or have a Y tree. If you find a Y tree, it's perfect. Oh, but like to have a one single tree, like some of the trees I got in, I'm like, I can't move. Like I can't, like even up at Rut Camp, like there was one tree when I saw that buck come on the 60 yards, that big buck. I was sandwiched between these two trees, like sitting there, and I was like, I could barely move the arm between me. I'm like, if one comes in me, I'm not gonna have a shot. Like, there's no way.
No.
So like, there's a lot of learning experiences, but like, man, it's so funny to like have such a down at the beginning to such a high at the end.
Yeah. Well, that was gonna be one of my questions. You're like mentally, like, I don't want to pour too much. I mean, you ended good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but like, you shot the buck in archery, couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
You shot and missed the buck in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't get close enough to deer up at rut camp.
Yep.
You had a little silver lining with them 2 doe and rifle, which was a little up.
Yeah.
And then you go out on the one day that you can go and it's
days.
pouring down rain and all this stuff. It's like, what your state of mental, where were you at up to that point?
I would say the whole way from archery up until I shot those. Literally that day of shooting those doe is when I think I had a complete change.
Okay.
Because my mentality completely changed. I think I hate that it happened this way, but like those Mennonites that came by me and said like, "Oh, we shot 2 spikes and
a 4-point,
a 4-point,
yeah,
and whatever." And I got out of that tree and was like, "I'm gonna drive around and find where the pressure's at."
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the moment that I was kind of like, I have to stop doing things the way I have been doing things. I have to get out of my quote unquote comfort zone,
right?
Of trying to, work the hardest or go to the weirdest spot, all that kind of stuff. I got to hunt the pressure. And like, that's easy to say for rifle. In archery, it's so much harder to do that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, you can't hear anyone, you can't see anyone.
You're not necessarily putting on drives
right.
toward archery season.
Exactly. So like, it's harder to do during archery. So like in rifle, I was like, my mentality has to change right now. If I want to have any type of success putting meat in the freezer, if I want to do anything like that, I have to completely change. But like the mentality going up to that was kind of like, I don't know, I felt like I was in it, but yet I wasn't. Like I was still like thinking about that buck.
Yeah.
The PA buck. Like the Ohio buck I was fine with because it was a clean miss.
Yeah, yeah.
But like that actually, I came back from Ohio more positive than anything because it was a clean miss and because we scouted our way into that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we had an idea of where to go, but like to scout our way in, find that fresh sign, be like, we got to set up here.
Yep.
Like that was like a very high for me, and I even think you too. Like it was good, but like, yeah. And then from that date to then when I shot the buck and couldn't recover it, after October 25th, my mental state of mind was like all-time low, dude. Like it was like,
yeah.
I was checking social media to see if anyone found a buck or like trail cameras or like my mental side of things was like, I just have to go to that area and just look more. And it was just, that's just every time I went in there, every time I went to that area, I was automatically thinking about that buck and looking for him.
Yep.
That's all I was doing. So like, I don't think I was in it at that moment because like I was out of it. I was like as soon as I stepped in the woods, I was automatically out of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna get anything right off the bat. So when I made that shift to be like, okay, I gotta change up how I'm hunting right now and just do it and just enjoy it and maybe have success for next season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I was taking it like not like taking advice, but like listening to others, put it that way. Like I was thinking back on other conversations, not nothing to do with the podcast, really.
Yeah.
Just conversation I've had with other people in the woods. So like rifle up at deer camp with my dad and my grandfather, they were telling me what they saw. I was like, okay, you saw a buck, you saw like 8 doe. They were running in front of you up towards this way. I was like, okay, well, in my mind I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go back to this spot and, go back where my old spot was where I saw the Mennonites and everyone was driving.
Right.
So I'm going to go back there and just give it another try and try and find another area. I was like, no. I think I started to trust my gut more than just like, okay, relying on like my mental side of thing or like the scouting or whatever I found, you know? So I was like, you know what? I'll go in this area. And then like saw that spike, that really big spike. And then, you know, those doe. And then like once again, I trust my gut. Like I was like, I could have just stood there and hopefully they walked up, or I could have snuck over there. But I was like, something told me to get in this old stand. So like I got in that old stand, shot those 2 doe, dropped them in the spot. I was like, okay, that was pretty cool, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then I come back home here and I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to go out again. Like I was like, I talked to my wife and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to go out. I might just go out Saturday. Like I have 2 doe in the freezer. Like I'm not too stressed about it anymore. Stop really thinking about like the trophy on the wall. And then she was like, you should take off. You should go out. I was like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Like you didn't have to try and convince me.
No.
So, you know, then she said what day, and I was like, okay, well, looks like it's going to be rain, so I guess I'll go out. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely a switch, kind of. Like those doe really helped switch things up. And like rifle, you know, I don't know. It's just, I find it more fun. Like archery's fun. I love archery.
Right.
I love archery hunting. But like rifle, man, it's just like, if you can find where the pressure is and find where all these people are going, and you go to a spot that they're not, it's like you could see some good stuff. Because like I realized that with so much pressure that was in this area, and thinking like, okay, I know that, because I remember once again going back to the conversation I had with other people in the woods of telling me where drives are, where drives aren't. Well, just where drives are.
Right.
If you tell me where drives are, it's like, okay, well, this area here, they're not even hitting.
Yeah.
So, like, why would a deer not go there then? Like, if you're driving a thicket, only thickets out, why would they not go where it's not thick?
Yeah.
Like, it might, and I say not thick, but I mean, like, it's not thick in the way most people think of. And I can tell you after air, but I'm not going to, I don't want to give out too much because it's like,
Yeah, I'll get you.
don't
blame me.
It's just different.
Right.
It's just different where I never, like, I look at this area, like, when I scout this area, I'm like, there's no way I should go there. Because there's not going to be any sign. But I think the thing is, like, you find little sign here and there. You find very faint sign here and there. It's like, so they're traveling through, but when?
Yeah. That's always a fun, like, when. Like, even when, you know, when I stumbled across those doe in November, I went down to that spot where I ended up setting up, and it's like, where's the sign? Where am I looking? And then I saw, like, one rub. It wasn't a big one. Okay. Well, it looks like there's a trail here. But, like, you kind of, like, okay, yeah, there's a trail, but you could have walked right past it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No scrapes, no nothing. It's like, but they're here. And then later is when I found that nice trail that went across from basically finger to finger. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, here it is. They utilize this spot, and you wouldn't think it.
No.
But they do.
Yep.
Now I want to go back up, put camera there, figure out.
Well, that's the thing. Like, this area, like, I was finding all that sign, but it was close to where people would possibly be. And I was like, this has to be nighttime sign. Like, it was like, you know, you find that sign, it's like, man, like, there's no cameras, there's nothing there. It's like, there's no tree stands, no cat eyes, nothing like that. So it's like, this has to be nighttime because, like, if they feel this safe, or it could be daytime, like, I don't know, because, like, it's close to where people would be on a daily basis, but it's like, man, like, this makes no sense.
Yep.
Like, and honestly, I looked at it, I was like, this makes no sense of why these deer would be here right now because of all the sign I found prior. Like, it's like, you find the big sign in the areas that I have a bunch of cameras at. This area here, I'm like, there's no reason to be back in here. Like, this, it's not deep enough.
Yep.
Put it that way. It's not it's I walked 3 miles, but it wasn't a hard 3 miles. Put it that way.
No.
Like, it was like the hardest part of my walk was literally just getting through rocks.
Yeah.
That was it. That was literally it. And then once you get through the like, it was just the area I found, and I can't say it's a honey hole because, like, first you're doing it, and I guarantee there's probably going to be other people that hunt that.
Yeah.
So it's not a honey hole. It's just, it was the right moment, right time, right place, shitty weather. That's literally what it was.
And it worked out
Like,
just fine.
Hunting in shitty weather, so I go back to, oh, there goes my nose again.
Just going to cut it off at this point.
Yep. What's that guy in Hogwarts or the Harry Potter that has no nose?
Voldemort.
Yeah, we don't talk about him.
Oh, he who must not be named. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, gosh. I cursed this house.
But yeah, like I go back to the very first buck that I had an encounter with in archery season.
Mm-hmm.
I sat through the rain, and right after it completely stopped is when he came through. I've had a lot of success with doing that. With it sucks to sit in.
Yeah.
But it's going to stop at around a certain time. You go sit. I mean, especially early season, you find scrapes. But when we're talking right now, December, second week in December to late season, if you find a food source and you sit on it, it's just, I don't know. I just love hunting that. I realize it now. Not just because I got him, that's one of the reasons. Yeah, that is one of the reasons.
Yeah, I would say there's no shame in saying that. That's fine.
The encounter I had with it was freaking awesome. I wish I got it on film for you guys because it was the coolest thing ever. The fog in the background.
Yeah.
Him just turning perfectly. He looked like he's a nice sized buck, but
oh my gosh, yeah.
He just looks so much bigger when I look back at him. I'm
little ground shrinkage there.
Just a little bit, but it was just man, it was just such a cool the eyes, people have DSLRs, people have all this kind of stuff to take pictures, but I feel the eyes, man, you can't reenact what the eyes see because
yeah,
I wish there was and I'm sure someday this is going to happen where there's going to be picture
camera
cameras
contact lenses
yeah.
you can put in your eyes.
Yeah,
we're
picture.
I'm blanking.
Yeah.
Oh, memories. Pull the chip out of my head.
Yeah.
Replace it.
But that would be. Oh man, it was just so cool, dude. It was just the whole experience. I there was part of the some of the I showed Ethan before the podcast. There was one time where I walked up to him and touched his shoulder, and he. I think it was his last breath coming out, but it was after my second shot, and it was just man. And I jumped back.
Scared the shit out of you. It was funny. It's oh my god.
Yeah,
just to see your face and to feel kind of low key, kind of wish you put it in.
Oh my god, I could do a bloopers one maybe, but I could do bloopers throughout the year because I have a few bloopers. Just stupid shit I say in the camera. Yeah. Honestly, it's because I think the cool thing is about self filming is you're talking to yourself pretty much, and it makes it acceptable.
Yeah, that's fine.
It makes it completely acceptable.
You just look at it I'm talking to an audience right now.
Yeah.
That is going to see this in the future.
And that's kind of the mindset you have to have.
Yeah.
That's 100%. If you go into it shy, you're not your video will suck. I will say that 100%. If you go into it shy, afraid to talk to yourself in camera, your video is going to suck. Yeah. And my videos may suck. They may suck. There's some people on there that thought my language was unacceptable.
Dude, is that what it?
Someone commented saying your language is unacceptable.
First off,
but then
we're hunting.
But then there was four. It was kind of funny. There was Drew was one, and there was a bunch of other people that commented saying "boo hoo," and they were "There's lots of other things that are worse in the world." And one guy said, "Sounds like English to me." So. So shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I think it's almost at 5,000 views thus far.
Solid.
So that's pretty good. It's all has to do with title. I will be honest with everyone. It has to do with title. If you just put a picture of rifle, well, really anything you put with a rifle right now would be
you getting views.
Good. But yeah, it was a quick turnaround video because I didn't really have that much footage because literally, like I said, I stepped in the woods at 7:40ish and shot him at maybe 10 after 8.
Yeah.
So like I had 20 minutes of footage.
Yeah, nothing like. So I slept that day because I told you before. I was like, hey, like, because you still.
Before.
Yeah, you said you were going out. I said, hey, just don't call me if you shoot something in the morning or something because I'm going to be sleeping, so I just won't get it anyway. So I wake up at it's like 4:00 in the afternoon. I wake up, I look, got several text messages because you text a group chat with Jimmy and Ryan, and then I looked at you and it's like, anyway, do you mind dropping off my buck at Braxton's when you go pick yours up? That's the only thing I got from you. And I was like, excuse me? And I tried calling. I don't know what happened because I tried calling you and it went right to voicemail every single time.
Denied every time.
Like, damn. So I text, call me. And then you called. I was like, I'm coming over.
Yeah, it was. The reason I texted you asking that is because like I figured you were in the group chat with Jimmy and Ryan, so I was like, there's no point in sending you the same picture twice.
Yeah.
You know. So
but I looked. I was like, son of a bitch. Here we go.
And the thing is, like in the area I was at, I couldn't call you anyway.
No,
like I had no service. Like I couldn't even call my wife.
Oh,
like
she's
so
gotta
like
be first.
The funny thing was, so I'm driving home. And she texted me this long text. She's like, I'm not feeling good. This one she started getting sick.
Right.
Raylan was at daycare. She was getting her hair. She was getting her hair did. All that kind of stuff.
Hair did.
Yep. So I called her up and I was like, "Hey, do you need me to pick anything up? I got your text. Are you still sick?" She's like, "No, I'm out. Why are you headed home?" I was like, I'm soaked and it's getting cold, so I'm just headed home." She's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "And I got a buck in the back." And she's like, "What?"
What? Yeah.
I was like, "I got a buck in the back." She's like, "Cody!"
Yep. I can hear that too.
Why didn't you tell me that first? I was like, well, to be honest, I wanted to just wait till you got home to surprise you, to have just hanging up in the garage. Yeah. But I was like, I just couldn't. And then I called my mom too, because I was going to see if my dad was home, to see because he gets off work at 12ish. So I was like, maybe I'll swing by just surprise him. Yeah. Like, hey, got a buck.
Look what I did.
But she was like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing pretty great.
Yeah.
So
I can't complain right now. I just have a deer in the back of my truck here.
So I told her about that. And then my dad texted me saying, congrats on the buck, and can't wait to hear all about it. I don't know if he's watched the video or not. I don't know if he watched the YouTube video or not. He does have YouTube. I don't know if he watched it.
You should ask him. Like, hey, you one of these views?
You one of these views?
You one of them?
But yeah, so it was all in all, man. It was to wrap up the season. I still might go out in late season just because I don't think my dad's got one down yet. Yeah. And I think I might go out. Might go out to help him maybe get one.
Try to get
Yeah. But yeah, all in all, man, to wrap up the season, did not think it would turn out the way it did. Put it that way. To get a buck down, it's been 2 years since I got a PA deer. Because the doe up at your cabin was right before Raylan was born.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years.
Yeah, because you ate tag soup last year.
Yeah.
Well, so did I.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both eat tag soup same year. Next year we both get buck.
Double up. Yep. Double up.
So in other words, we truly rely on each other to get something. So it's if we both don't have anything by the end of rifle, well, and I don't really go out for late season, well, sorry, Cody, you're eating soup with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, last year I had that opportunity at one and the flintlock didn't go off. So it was just, but yeah, to have it end the way it did for now, it's just absolutely, I couldn't, to have it be shitty weather at what I would consider a shitty year to get a nice buck.
Yeah.
Is that's just freaking awesome to me. That's just awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this too. It's I don't pay attention to it, but I never really see anyone or talk about it or whatever. They shoot a buck in a spot.
Yeah.
And then come postseason scouting, summer scouting, whatever, they're everywhere else.
Yeah.
They don't go back.
Yeah.
I thought of it because I was like, okay, I shot my buck at this one spot.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back there.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily like exclusively think like, oh, I'm going to have to get a deer here
Mm-hmm.
next year too,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to go back and just see like, is this going to be is this a consistent spot this
Yeah.
time of year? If not, I got other spots I can go to.
Yeah.
What's your mindset now going in? Because like you spent essentially, I'm going to say the whole year, but more than half the year scouting this
Yeah.
one section.
Yep.
Shot the buck somewhere else, but still close.
Yeah,
Close-ish.
It was about. I'm trying to think. I think it's like 1.5 miles.
Yeah, and it's nothing for a deer to travel a mile and a half.
No, not
anywhere
at all.
up there.
No.
So it's like, and I mean, you had success in the when it comes to encounters and letting one fly at a deer in the area you did scout for that long. So, well, I guess what's the mindset going into next year? Are you still going to try to hone in on? I mean, you expanded your zone.
Yeah.
But you just gonna. What's the mindset going into next year? Like you zoning in on that spot, or are you just going somewhere else and then kind of keeping this in your back pocket?
See, I want to scout this area, but also in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to blow this area out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you
it's
have
like
that fine line.
it's like I know the general area where they were feeding at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't want to necessarily blow it out. Like, but yet also, if I do it in the late season, I'm not going to blow it out for next year.
Right.
So it's like if I hang a camera in there or whatever, like just to let it soak. But like if I might not even hang a camera in this area. I might just be like, okay, I found beds here, leaving it at that. But like, yeah, I mean, I definitely want to put some cameras in this area. At least not maybe in this exact area where I shot him.
Mm-hmm.
But like in this area, I want 100% put cameras because like the sign I found is just like, bigger buck are using this as well.
Right.
So it's like, and the fact that when I did that on Saturday, what was that? That would be December 7th or something like that. The second Saturday in rifle.
Mm-hmm.
When a fresh scrape is still being used, that's an year-round area.
Right.
Especially when there's a ton of shit. There's feeding sign, there's scrapes, there's rubs, there's heavy trails. Like if they're using that in the second week of rifle,
yeah,
that's a good area. And
absolutely.
Like, that's an area I definitely want to. I might not even put I might take a mobile stand in there. I might take a pre-hung stand and put it in there, and just like take sticks, at least one stick with aiders in with me, to get up there. Like, that's might be all I do, really, for this area, because I think it's an area that can produce yearly, but it just depends on if there's other people in there, and when they hunt. Like I feel like there's probably someone who hunts in there, but I feel like I also got lucky because of the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that played a huge role in me being able to shoot this buck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think getting just inventory of what's in that area is part, like you set a camera up and you just let her be, and then you'd be fine.
That's like, the area that I've been hunting, that area, I checked almost all the cameras in that area that I shot the buck at. Now, I have other cameras that I never even touched.
Ooh.
So the funny thing is about this area that I didn't even say at the beginning was like, my plan was not even to hunt this area this year. Like I wasn't even going to hunt this mountain this year until like late season and check my cameras. But then, I got those pictures of those buck that are really nice buck, and I was like, I got to at least put some sits in there.
Yeah.
And it seemed like every sit I did was in there. So, I think there's a lot to learn about this area still.
Oh, yeah.
But to be able to go in there and have a shot at one mature buck, and then, at least in our minds, another really mature buck for Pennsylvania,
absolutely,
is a huge accomplishment for me, I think. Like it was just a huge mental trophy, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Mental, physical, it's going to be hanging on the wall trophy.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was just cool. Cool end of the season.
I'd say, because now you don't have to go out.
No.
In the late season, even though you said you want to.
I might, here and there. My
wife
wife said that I shouldn't, but it's like, well, if I do, I do.
Yeah, just go out with a scouting mindset with a weapon in hand. That's
Dude,
all.
honestly, I might just do that. I might just go out and hang cameras, check cameras, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would be the best time for you to go out, check, replace batteries, and then you're like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it come March, April,
June,
whenever.
July.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Maybe go in. I mean, maybe go back in like July just to make sure the batteries are good.
Yep.
But you don't necessarily have to worry about it for those months.
Yeah.
Because you're like, we good.
Yep.
I'm just going to let it soak. Maybe check it in July, and then don't touch it until hunting season.
And that's what I think those cameras, those 8-9 cameras that I didn't touch all year, dude, that's going to be huge. Like to have all year data through rifle season, hopefully.
Yep.
Like to see where they drive, if they drive it out at all, if the deer stay there, where they rut at, where these doe are being chased. It's like, man, that could be huge. Like I could have been hunting this one section this year and be up in this other section this year, depending on if that one buck makes it.
Yeah.
Depending on him.
Yeah, that guy. That one.
But, yeah, I mean, I think now if I would have got a buck down earlier in the year, I might not have this mindset right now. I might be like, because I feel like that one time that Tim Palmer was on, and he talked about how he missed that really big buck, and then, he was down in the dumps and he got another buck, and he was like, wasn't meant to be yet. I feel like that's one thing that, like, I feel like if I would have shot that buck, I probably would have got a big head.
Yeah.
I think so, because, like, it's like, man, this is easy stuff. Perfect weather, perfect wind, perfect everything. Shot this nice buck 22 yards. Like, I'm
the magic number,
king
22.
shit, right?
Yep.
But, like, you got to be humbled sometimes, and I think that really humbled me to be like, okay, this shit's not as easy as you think,
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I think, it humbled me quite a bit, and definitely learned from that. Definitely grew from that. That's for sure. Won't be doing that again.
We ain't going to do that again.
Aim for the heart and nothing.
That's all I ever do.
Yeah.
It's right in the shoulder. Yep. Done. I'll take, think about it. You're not ruining that much meat. You're really not.
The front leg does not have that much meat, to be honest with you.
No, where you hit it. No.
Yeah.
Because mine, right through the heart. Mm-hmm. I shot through both front legs.
Yeah.
Right in the heart, and I got all the meat still.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You cut a little bit around it. Yep. If you don't like it, scrap it.
Now with rifle, it's a little different with shooting through it, because it's at least one shoulder will be blown to smithereens because
100%.
The exit hole.
Yeah, that exit hole, that'll get you depending on what you're using.
Yeah.
But no, that's, and then you got like the whole humble thing, because like now I have to make sure I stay humble through this for next year, because I'll even be thinking, oh yeah, man, I got a buck in Ohio, I got a buck in Pennsylvania, I'm doing great, and then next year I'll be like, hold on, new season, fresh start, I'm at square zero, then we go.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I've really been thinking about. Like, after we do like these next episodes that are going to be pretty much recaps of other people's seasons, I think taking a break from whitetails is going to be very good because of the seasons we've had. Yeah. Right, so we talk about maybe, I guess, turkey. I guess turkey a little bit.
I'll tell you what. If they stay, well, I don't know if there's any gobblers. There got to be gobblers.
Well, they'd be around some point.
Yeah, because, dude, freaking turkeys up at the cabin. I had them on trail camera just right in front of the cabin like a day or two ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, it's great that they're there.
Yep.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I should probably go try to shoot a turkey at some point in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably should.
But, I mean, you have turkey, and then you have trout, then you have fishing stuff, and it's like...
Oh, I've been watching fishing videos on YouTube. And Gary's like, why do you watch the fishing? I was like, well, I don't know. I like it. Just, plain and simple answer. I like watching. I said, well, I might learn something. Yeah. I said, just the way someone sets up, their rod or what lures they're using when they go out, how they fish. I said... it's no different than watching hunting videos from someone else.
Yeah.
You can learn bits and pieces from it.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
And plus, it's nice to see all the different types of fish people can catch, and it gets me in the mindset like, ooh, I'm ready to go fishing.
Yeah.
But that's not till.
But then you have that, then you have like property management, you have that kind of stuff. Like I think, but then that's when you start getting into the second like July timeframe of getting back into whitetail. So it's like, I feel like taking a break from it mentally would be good.
Come to my side. Come to my side.
I mean, I'm not going to just stop altogether because I'm still going to be going out scouting all year round.
I was going to say, there's no way you're not going out.
There's no, at least once, twice a month, I'm still going to be going out scouting. But like, yeah, I think because when you go into a season, it's like, man, you put all this work in. You're like, man, I just want to. But then the season's so short. Like, it seems long. Like, I was thinking about it today. I was like, this season's so long, but yet it flew.
Yeah.
Flew by. Especially when we have plans. We had Ohio, we had our ruck camp, we had rifle, and then it's like, man, that's one every season, and now it's late season, and now it's over, and it's like, man, this is like over already?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, I tell people at work, or I tell even my wife, I was like, listen, I'm hunting from here to here.
Yep.
Because one buddy at work, he's like, hey, can I always have off this time of year? He's like my right-hand man at work. And I was like, dude, it's like in July.
Yeah.
It's like 2 weeks he wants. I was like, dude, as long as I am the supervisor on this shift, you can have that time. As long as you understand.
Yeah.
Come this time.
Yeah, I'm gone.
That's mine.
Yeah.
100%. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And the people know it. I'm gone. October to December.
Yep.
I'm having off.
And I mean, I think that's like, it's kind of nice, especially with having like a family. Like, I'm not saying you don't have a family, but having like a family, a baby, a kid, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of nice to have that. I can see it now of why that break from talking about whitetails 24/7 is going to be good. It will be good because like, yeah, I'm still going out scouting. I'm still doing all this stuff, but like to take that little break from that, like, it's going to be good. So like, yeah, I think beginning of the season, dude, I was like, that when I missed that buck, it was all time low. When I hit that buck and couldn't recover him, all time low, and then like to end it with shooting a really nice, respectable buck on public land in the big woods, shitty weather, all time high. But I can't let it get to my head.
Nope.
Because like I'm like, man, I should go out to Ohio now. No,
I mean the season's
still
still
got a
in.
tag. Still got a tag.
You know, some like
January.
Hey, you know some people.
Yeah.
Reach out to Cody.
Yeah.
Cody Kelly.
I can't make that 5-hour trip, man.
Nah, you can't.
I can't. I could, but I don't want to. I still have yet to get a turnpike thing in the mail from driving out there.
No, did I? I don't think I did. Let me think, because it would have been.
On wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. I'm sure it'll show up. Because I just got one, but it wasn't for that. Because I used the turnpike to go to the in-laws. It's just quicker and don't got to worry about traffic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I haven't gotten that one yet.
Wow.
I ain't gonna say none.
No, well, we just did, but
we did.
They won't hear it. Yeah. So that was pretty much a full recap. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's really nothing else to add to that.
No, because at this point it's just
watch the video.
Watch the video. Get ready for late season if you're still going out. Do some post-rifle scouting if you already filled tags.
Yep.
Get ready for fishing.
Yep, exactly. And in the off season. Yep.
Exactly. So Cody, we want to drop where the listeners can follow you along if they want to.
Oh, me personally?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you're the guest here today.
Follow me personally if you want to. Whitetail_hunting_dad on IG. Mostly just follow the Instagram page for the podcast, Backcountry PA Podcast. And you can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, that's pretty much it. Find us everywhere. Just type it in.
We'll pop up.
It'll pop up.
Yeah.
We're at 200 some episodes now, so I think we'll pop up.
I would hope.
Wherever you go.
I'd hope so. And leave positive criticism, positive feedback on Cody, this latest video that you put out, because obviously
either one really, either three of them really,
because there's going to be more videos in the future. We're going to keep you'll filming. You're going to keep filming. I might get into a little filming
You
from
might-
what you
you might-
shared.
you might.
Yeah.
I
don't want to give
I've-
away too much.
You
now.
might.
Yeah.
I think you should, because I might actually buy that too. To be honest with
I
you.
think I will. 100%.
It's gonna be easy.
Oh yeah.
It'd be so. And even if you got a GoPro, they have mounts you can put right onto that.
Yeah.
So like all you have to do is then press little press and
Yep.
you're recording.
Good to go.
It'd be cool.
But yeah, feedback is greatly appreciated because obviously we want to improve so that you guys can enjoy the stuff that we put out.
Yep.
And where are my comments, people? That last video that we said on the podcast, leave comments. I didn't see any comments. I'm hurt. You guys let me down.
Listen, all Ethan wants for Christmas, besides his 2 front teeth, are he wants reviews. He wants reviews.
I love them. I don't know
and
why.
5 stars.
Yes.
5 stars doesn't cost you anything.
Really
5
doesn't.
stars.
They're free to do.
It's a click and a type.
And then I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll even comment back.
Yeah.
I'll even heart it.
I don't think Ethan can heart it.
I don't know if I can.
Apple
Or
podcast.
Thumbs up it, something. I don't know.
I don't think he can do that.
I'll find a way for something.
He'll find you and he'll personally come to your door and say thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not creepy at all.
But yeah. So 5 stars for Ethan's Christmas present.
Yes.
And positive criticism for my Christmas present. So that's you got us covered. Doesn't cost anything.
Yeah. The best Christmas ever.
Best Christmas ever, except for my 2 front teeth. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll talk to you before the New Year and maybe before Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't look at the dates right now.
I don't even know.
But remember to keep hunting
Keep fishing.
and always enjoy the fishing process. See ya.